told him that we needed some more people out here. He told me another sergeant was on his way, and I told him that we needed to get these two guys downtown.
And which sergeant, do you remember, I'm sorry, which sergeant that was?
I'm sorry?
Which sergeant that was you talked to?
I don't remember.
Okay. Was it Sergeant Edwards?
I believe that's who I first talked to.
Okay. And so showing you Exhibit 90, if we could please. And this is a photograph for the record of 2218. This is you speaking on the phone at that time, correct?
Yes.
All right. And so here you're still dealing with things at the scene, is that right?
Yes.
All right. And so we can take that down, I guess, thanks. The sergeant that you talked to, what kinds of things did you ask that sergeant to take care of?
I asked the patrol sergeant to arrange to have the two involved officers brought down to room 100, and that we needed some more officers at the scene.
And why did you think you needed more officers at the scene?
To search for any possible witnesses or video.
And so then, after having that conversation, what did you do next?
I had called in two of the sergeants from homicide, the on-call team, to assist me.
And as you were doing that, did you undertake any other actions to try and identify things that might be helpful for the investigation?
Yes.
Like what?
If you stand in the center of the intersection and you'd look for, first of all, you look for video cameras that may be hanging from different buildings, or in this case, milestone cameras.
What is a milestone camera?
It's a city camera that's set up in different areas of the city, and they can be monitored to help us deter crime or to help if a crime occurs.
And being familiar with that location, did you believe there was a milestone camera at that intersection?
I knew there was, yes.
Okay. I'm going to show you Exhibit 1. You recognize what's in that photograph?
Yes.
And what is that?
That's the intersection of 38th and Chicago.
Do you know, can you show the jurors, if you want, you can write on the screen, there should be a little stylus there in front of you, where that camera is located?
I believe it was right here.
Okay. And how is it mounted, or where is it mounted?
I'm not sure if it's on a light pole or under a light pole, but it's mounted up high.
Some kind of pole there.
Right.
Okay. In fact, sometimes we call them pole cameras for the obvious reason.
Yes, the older guys do that.
Older guys and me, is what you mean. When you were at the scene, did you learn more about the condition of Mr. Floyd, the subject?
I did.
Do you recall when, in your time there, you learned about that?
It was after Sergeant Dale arrived.
And so, Sergeant Dale, one of the sergeants you called in to assist?
Yes, Sergeant Bob Dale is one of the homicide teams that I called in.
And so this was after you had arranged the transport officers?
Yes.
And what did you learn about his condition?
That Mr. Floyd had died.
And were some decisions made about what would become of this investigation based on information?
Yes.
And what was decided?
That the BCA would be in charge of the investigation, the State Bureau of Criminal Apprehension.
And when that decision is made, what's the role of Minneapolis police at that scene?
Well, first it's to support the BCA investigative team with whatever they might need that night. And also it's to secure any witnesses that we may find, to see if they would be willing to talk to the BCA. Also, it's when you're at a scene, trying to locate any video cameras again, and filling in the BCA agents that arrive.
And in fact, at some point, did BCA agents arrive?
Yes.
And when they arrive, just describe a little bit for the jury what the process is and, upon their arrival.
Yeah, the BCA agent generally or specifically in this case?
Just generally.
Yeah. When the BCA arrives, they'll come up to you for a briefing, and you tell them what you have at the scene, what you've learned, and where people are at. You know, like in this case, the officers were brought to room 100, that kind of thing. And then you tell them, or you ask them what help they might need.
And then